Hey there, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative, and my second ornament idea that I'm bringing for the 2016 holiday season is this cute gingerbread house ornament that I made using the Papertrey ink Petite square ornament die set that you see here. And I am super thrilled with how this came out. It came out way cuter than I thought it would, so I hope you like it as much as I did. So I cut two of those sort of wall pieces, and then there is one extra piece that I cut of the bottom. So I had to kind of cut off the walls for that piece. And then I cut two little decorative trim pieces out of white cardstock. And then the little rectangle that sits all on its own, that die is for the inside of the openings in the walls, and I cut acetate using that. Now I will be using the stickers that I pulled forward there to decorate the inside of this, but to start off with, I kind of wanted to add a little bit of detail or shadow to my gingerbread, if you will. This is some creamy caramel Stampin' Up cardstock. I apologize because that is a retired color as far as Stampin' Up goes, but you can still get it on eBay, so I did link to that in the supply list, which there is a link to the supply list, as always, in the video description below and over on my blog if you are interested in that. But to add some detailing to this, I am taking some vintage photo distress ink and my little distress blender and going from the craft mat onto the edges of the gingerbread house, if you will. So I did this for a couple reasons. First, I wanted it to look like it had been baked in the oven. So, usually when you bake cookies, the edges are a little bit browner than the insides. So I just wanted to get the edges a little bit browner. And then with gingerbread houses, it's usually like pieces that have been put together with frosting, so there'd be a little bit of shadow between where the edges meet. So that's why I also wanted to add a little bit of darker brown color onto the edges too, so to give it a little bit of shadow and dimension. Now you can see me folding over all the little flaps there. Those are cut out with the die. They're scored with the die, so it's really, really easy to do. And this was nice because it allowed me to kind of train those folds as I was coloring the edges, kind of 2 for the price of 1 there, if you will. And I even did the bottom edges, so I folded those up and did the edges along the bottom as well. And so you'll see there, it's kind of subtle, but it does make a difference in the end. It's pretty cool. So I did cover over the cutouts in the tops. So to do that, I just took some white cardstock, traced the little triangle shape onto the cardstock and trimmed it out, and just taped it down with some skinny adhesive tape on the edges there to fill in those openings. And now I'm just coloring those in. So I colored it in with a green Wink of Stella fine glitter dust marker. And then this is my Candied Apple Distress marker that I'm adding red accents to. And the idea was, how you kind of have like little candy accents on gingerbread houses, or like little colored frosting accents. So that was what I was thinking with those little details that were cut out in the roof. Now to create my scene on the inside, I needed to create a base. So that's why I cut out this extra piece that is the size of the bottom of the ornament. And now I am just taking cotton balls and I'm just pulling them apart so that they don't look like cotton balls anymore, and kind of lumping them together in this weird kind of pile in the middle with my liquid glue. My thinking was I knew I was going to use sort of candy stickers on the inside, and I needed something for those to stick to and stand up next to. And I wanted whatever they were sticking to look sort of like some kind of type of candy or treat. So I thought, well, this cotton could be marshmallow fluff. It could be frosting. It could be cotton candy. It could even be snow if you like. So it was kind of an easy way to create a base to stick all the little pieces onto, and be an easy kind of cute little backdrop for all my candy pieces. So the candy pieces that I'm adding are stickers. They're Jolie's Boutique stickers, and I use one set of Recollection stickers. And you'll see on the left there, I have put together half of the ornament because I wanted to be able to see into the windows as I was making this, to see like how tall can these B, have I put in enough candy so that when you look in through the little window, it looks good. You know, it looks like a finished scene, if you will. So you'll see me going back and forth here as I'm adding stickers on. I'll be like I'll put a sticker on and then I like look at it in the window to see what do I need to add. You know, do I have enough cotton down for everything that I want to put on here? And I'll be going back and forth doing that here for a little bit. But if you're interested, the stickers that I used were these 3 that you're seeing that I've used now are all the Jolie's Boutique. And the first ones were the Candy Cane Mini Repeats. The second ones were the Gingerbread Repeats. And this one I'm putting on now is the Cupcake Repeats. And then the 4th stickers that I use are like these they look like peppermint twist hard candies that come off of the Recollections, like it's like glitter candy cane stickers, or it's what it's called. So, but I only use the little hard candy ones, and then I use the Jolie's Boutique candy canes because I thought those were kind of cuter with this. But here you see I'm adding, again, more cotton just to make it a little bit taller, give a little more support to some of those stickers. And although this was maybe a little bit time consuming, it didn't really take that long. And honestly, it was pretty easy. The stickers stuck on there, no problem at all. It was really easy to just use the little windows to figure out like, oh, what more do I need? Is this tall enough? Is this down far enough? All those kinds of things. And just kind of create a little bit of a different scene in every window. I did use all the same elements, but I'd use, say, like a red candy cane in one and a green candy cane in the next one. Or I had 4 stickers in one and 3 stickers in another, just to vary it up a little bit and give it a little bit of a difference in each of the 4 windows. But it didn't take that long, and using stickers made it super easy and just really cute. And all the little glittery accents on those Jolie's stickers make a big difference. You'll see in the end when I show it to you hanging. It's really, really cute. But so that's basically the interior. I mean, it was pretty easy overall just to put that little scene together. And so now I'm going to glue this down to the half of the ornament that has not been put together. So I'm just going to glue that to the bottom panel basically there. And so how I put these all together was I used, for the most part, double stick adhesive. So along the window panels and the skinnier flaps, I used 1/8 inch iCraft double stick adhesive. So like here, I'm going to put down the last piece of acetate over the window. And then on the thicker tabs, which were like the ones on the bottom, I used 1/4 inch Elizabeth Craft Designs double stick adhesive tape too. Now both of these tapes were like super sticky, and that was important because you'll see here when I put the whole thing together at the end, because I'm sealing the top shut like you see here, I can't go inside and like press those tabs down to make sure they stick well. So I have to trust that the double-sided adhesive is going to just do its work. It's going to stick really well to the paper once it sticks down. And this worked just fine. It worked great. I had no problems at all with anything coming apart. So just for this very last part, this is probably the most difficult thing in the whole construction. You have to pull all the adhesive off any remaining tabs, and then you kind of just fit it all together in one big motion here. So here you see, like I just kind of stuck it all together at once, and it worked really great. Like the flaps just stick really well. The glue on the bottom of the bottom really is holding well, so it really was pretty easy. I think the most difficult part of this whole thing was possibly this, which is sticking that little piece of decorative trim onto the house. Now this piece you could use as a fence. Like you could flip it upside down and put it along the bottom and it could be like a little decorative fence. But I wanted it to be like a fancy Victorian trim along the top of my gingerbread house, kind of like a frosting detail. So that's why I put it along the top edge, as you'll see here. And the other probably most time consuming part of this whole project was just putting the adhesive tape onto all the flaps. Like that takes a while. But otherwise, it's really easy to put together. I mean, it's really straightforward. It's not difficult to figure out. It was ultimately like way easier than I anticipated. Now to finish off the top, I'm going to be using some We Are Memory Keepers Red and White Baker's Twine. I'm just tying a bow here just as like a little decorative finish there. You wouldn't have to put that on if you didn't want to, or you could just tie a knot or anything, because it's not really holding that thing together that has been glued to, the whole top has been glued together. But to create the little ornament hanger, I'm using more of the baker's twine, and I'm creating a loop, and then I'm just going to tie it a knot on the end, as you'll see here. And so then I'm going to feed the loop through the hole in the ornament top, and then I'm going to feed the knot through the loop and then pull it tight, and that kind of locks it in place. And so I can just hang it from that loop. Hopefully that makes sense. And you'll see here, in addition to that like white trim along the top, I did draw like a squiggly scallop line along the bottom edge I started out with my white gel pen, and then I went over it with my white chalk marker just to thicken it up. And now I'm adding enamel accents in white along each edge to just add a little finishing decorative sort of frosting touch. And my very, very final thing I did for this was put some distress glitter on this. So I'm taking my liquid glue, and I'm being kind of purposely messy. Like I want it to be sort of almost like a frosting trim. Now this isn't gonna, it's gonna dry clear, so you won't see the glue, but I wanted like a pretty thick layer of this glitter. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this glitter all over the glue edges, and then they will dry clear. And once it does, it really looks like sugar, like baking sugar detailing that you see on cakes and cookies and stuff. It is really cool. Like distress glitter is kind of thick, and so it really looks good. And I also added it along the bottom under that scallopy line. Hopefully you can tell that. But here you can see each of the little scenes and each of the windows, and how the stickers and that cotton like actually worked really, really well. I was super, super happy with how it came out, if I do say so myself. Now, another way you could use this set is you can make a votive. So I cut this out of black paper, and I left the top open, and then I covered the openings in the walls using vellum that I stamped with some snowflake stamps, just so you can see those when the light is on inside the votive. So that's a really, really cute idea for this set as well. And then a third idea was to create like a little gift box if you wanted to, for a small gift. So for that, I just covered the holes in the walls with some decorative paper, and I added some stickers and like some glitter accents. And then I just put tissue paper in the box, and you could put candy in there, jewelry would fit. You know, it's not a huge box, but like little small gifts would definitely fit inside this. And because you're not sealing the top shut, what you need to do is just take a ribbon and just, you know, either tie a knot around the top to hold all those little four sides of the top together, or as I did here, just make a bow. And I did the same thing with the votive. The votive is also open on the top. So once I took the ribbon off that, I could take out I have an LED light inside that votive. Obviously, you don't want to use an actual candle inside that paper votive. That would be a very, very bad idea. It would be a fire hazard. But in my votive, I am using an LED, like battery operated votive light. And there you go. Look at the votive once it's lit up. I turned the lights off so you can kind of get a better view of that. And I think it's really pretty how the light comes out through those little scrolly details in the top when you leave them uncovered. It's really, really pretty. And then I wanted to show you what the ornament looks like when it's hanging on a tree. I just thought the glitter on those little sticker accents really catch your eye and just looks super, super cute. And as well as the glitter along the edges that I added with the distress glitter. I just am super happy with it. I don't know. Hopefully you guys like it as much as I do. I don't mean to be like, oh wow, it's the greatest thing ever. But it came out a lot better than I had anticipated. And I just thought, for as easy as this was to put together, the result was really, really cute. So I hope you like it, and I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration for yet another ornament idea for this holiday season. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. You can find a supply list for this project linked below in the video description, as well as over on my blog, blacksheep303.com. If you like this video, I would love it if you give me a thumbs up, and I would love it even more if you'd subscribe to my channel. I come out with YouTube videos regularly. Thank you so much, and happy holidays!